One player moving out of position, but Sodachi wants to replace them. Unfortunately, that will not be a successful venture. Eli, they take a decent amount of damage, and it actually is a second look into sewer.
Oh, man. This guy is unreasonably aggressive.
30 seconds left.
He's taking fight after fight.
Tree. A bit delayed on those shots. They couldn't secure it. And in that moment, that's what delivers the site. But they forgot. Eli was still a member on this site. Stuck inside of their own dark cover. Trapped in a prison of their own design. IVC, they got the spike down, but they could not keep it down.
And it's a flawless round at that. Oklahoma, that's a statement of fact. You shall not pass. This is our half, 6-4. And, well, bad news. IVC. Looked like they were thinking about going for the full invest here, Los, but instead they've more reasonably taken the tack to, let's get some pistols and armor, maybe even a stinger. Hey, look, Spectre for Peach Cobbler. One of the best names in collegiate Counter-Strike, by the way. Peach Cobbler.
I would say it's up there. I counted a player known as Bum Smacker.
Yeah, you and I both. Very familiar. Though, Ims Uwu definitely has a good one as well.
We can speak more to the best names, but I'm hoping for a best play currently. We've seen Thrifties happen previously. I'm not sure why we can't see a third here in this same dang half. But it's going to be a big entry. Tons of utility waiting for IVC the second they walk through, but it's actually going to be a counteroffensive. Rolling Thunder, Paranoia, self-destruction with the Bane Shells. And it's a flawless for OC.
You know, if I can't kill me, who can? Right? That's the mindset, I'm assuming. I don't know for sure, but it's certainly a play. Deny the creds at the very least. If you're Bola. There used to be that kind of strategy back in the day in Counter-Strike. I don't know if you remember that, but there was like just buy one molly and all, or like a nade and all die to it in spawn. So the other team doesn't get any money for killing you.
Keep five in the chamber for that one. Oh God, what is happening? What has even occurred? A Paranoia via instinct thwarted the entirety of this plan. The save to have better utility coming into the final round of the first half. Crushed.
Wait.
Via one blind.
I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but Entry walked away with still having the Blade Storm to allow the breach to then find the shorty kill. I don't know what the plan was or how or why it happened, but I loved it. Let's teamwork right there, baby.
Well, I think you explained the whole thing right there in the question. You gotta get the shorty kill.
Okay, that's you know what? Fair enough. You're right. All right, I was overlooking the shorty part of that, but I apologize. That was unrealistic of me. Oklahoma 8-4. So a good recovery of a solid half, I think, for Oklahoma. IVC probably can still be okay with this. They're going to have to do better in the second half, though, by dint of that score line. We see the attack moving towards the C long, and there's 3 players here for the defense.
Entry not taken down by any Paranoia or other utility, but it will be murky in the back of this site. Putting it in work. Yet Eli and Instinct, certainly such an impactful duo. These two cutting down IVC, so it just leaves the captain. It's Volk.
It's a tough retake for sure. Low HP, though, on one of these 2 remaining players with Volk. Having a Ghost, this is absolutely winnable. I'm going to have a Haunt up in just a moment, so that's information gathering available.
Fights here. Wheaties. And have to be aware. Unfortunately, this is going to be a pinch. Or maybe, fortunately, for Eli and crew. A wonderful job, I would say, in terms of realizing the one-dimensional aspect of being in garage and creating that pincer maneuver.
Indeed. Yeah, a good positioning that was then made better by that maneuver. 9-4. Though, remember, we did see OC win the first half pistol and then instantly lose from there. Or, excuse me, it was IVC win the pistol and then lose from there. Not to say that we can't see that same thing happen, but opposite. IVC, we've seen them do it before. We can absolutely see that happen again. But once again, this is a very aggressive posture towards the C site. They're just going for it, Los. Los, are you muted? Smile.
Well, somebody got, silenced. I think it was a KO knife hit my apartment. Suppressed my tech.
I hate that. You know, it happens to everybody.
Yeah, bad lineup from Split hit my apartment. Anyways, entry, after doing such great work to get on that site, will be the first to fall. Well, will be a sacrifice, and it just leaves Volk here with the stinger. And you can see the confidence from OC. They're sending all the players to find this final kill, and it will be secured. There's no saving. Not even a stinger can be brought into round number 15.
Nothing allowed to leave, says the entirety of OC. And to be fair, considering the force buy into that last round for IVC, you know, gave them a chance to win the round, and all of that's great. Unfortunately, it's now delayed their purchase another round. They are now going to have to work with some sheriffs. No real shields to work with. I mean, Volk and Bola, they had a little extra cash, so they'll be able to pick those up, at least the half shield variety. But otherwise, a solid buy. And it's the same thing again, Los. Imagine that.
And this will continue unless Volk is able to find anything. Not going to be the case. And here's Beach Gobbler with a sheriff.
Yeah, that was a classic case of the Whiffington's disease, not being able to shoot at people not looking at you. It's tough. I personally am afflicted as well. So I understand. I understand the pain, the suffering. Doesn't get a lot of attention, but it's real, Los.
I think for pennies a day, you can stop suffering gamers from the Whiffington's disease, or instead just follow @HandsomeHostLos on Twitter. You could also get a riot gun buddy, perhaps. I've heard.
Aha! I have to take your advice on that. Is that handsome host Los guy pretty good?
Oh no, he whiffs too.
Oh.
He just needs your support.
He just can get you the gun buddy. Got it. There's that season 8 combo. Unfortunately, it catches just about no one.
And so does entry. Oh my god! Even after having that whole song and dance, Bola will still be found from the Hunter's Fury. There can be no escape. Yet, Volk is having a similar situation. No one will escape, or at least begin to enter onto site. 3K for them, leaving Wheaties all alone. 1v4. And there's no chance they were going to make that one happen.
Yeah, the bonus round, that one didn't work out too well for Oklahoma. They made it on the site well. Like, it was a good plan. It was just weaponry-wise, Volk just stood in their way and did a bang-up job of defending that site. From here, we get into the real meat and potatoes of the second half. And we see what IVC has to offer, as they are going to be in a position now to start to at least create the possibility of a comeback. It all starts here and now, Los.
Stinks hopping over the seasonade, but without any vision, Bola was expecting something like that anyway. Walking through the smoke, you have to be prepared for all angles that are possible. Thing is, though, the real attack is on C site. Instinct was just a bait.
The old bait and switch maneuver. It is a very effective strategy, though. Entry, he's not going to get caught.
No, that's insane. They'll stay just in that corner, and with a blind,
Show's
Bolo
over.
can't calm that. They have no clue. Entry finally reveals themselves, but it's all too late. 3K here with the blades. Simply divine work by OC, but IVC, they were so close to making that work despite how one-sided it may have seemed.
Yeah, Showstopper came out. No, show was over. Courtesy of Entry. Sending in the curtain call as we head into what could be the final round of this game if OC can close it. Of course, that is a big if. We saw a lot of fireworks in that last round. Now things are a little bit more reasonable. There's only a From the Shadows available for the offense of Oklahoma, though you and I both know that that can mean a lot, especially when it's all alone.
Entry now. Not alone, destroys that alarm bot. There's nothing to follow it up. Dark cover blocks both angles. However, I imagine Entry, they don't want to stick around. Well, for the good of the game, they will. Meaties might be in a bit of trouble. Peach Cobbler plays their hand. They don't get the shot. A quick adjustment. And the Irvine Valley College squad are decimated.
Destroyed, and, well, 2v3. It's all falling apart here. Instinct will stop any opportunities to close this out. 13-5. The final score on the first map, of course, understandable as that was Oklahoma Christian's map pick. But, Los, the realistic part of that is that 13-5 is a little bit of a concern that, well, on Icebox, things might not be different.
And you have to wonder what adjustments could be made. What exactly was Irvine Valley College doing that allowed so many plays for Oklahoma Christian to take advantage of? It seemed when it was on the attacking side, it was simply too little defense on C, or maybe no real adjustments in between those rounds, because Oklahoma found an entry, they found a weak point, and they kept pressing it round after round after round. And it took quite a bit of time for IVC to find a true solution to that. So maybe adaptability, quick to think on what they could do next, and prevent a easy engagement and a free site.
Well, and I think when you think about adaptability, let me give a little bit of a storyline here for a moment, Los. It was a tied game, 4-4 in the first half. We ended 13-5. Well, that tells me that towards the end of that first half, Oklahoma were able to adapt to IVC. And then in the second, well, they only picked up a single round from there. And that was the bonus, one that they are expected to take, generally speaking. So there just wasn't a lot to see from Irvine Valley College later into that game. Whether or not they can adjust into the second map or it'll be much of the same, we'll have to see.
That's a lesson. Evolve or die. Will Irvine Valley College live to see map 3? We'll find out in just a few as we head to Icebox after a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And here we are of map 2, potentially the final fray of our best of 3. Oklahoma Christian, Irvine Valley College, duking it out for a spot in the playoffs or a run in the LCQ. And Oklahoma certainly have proven themselves to be a strong team. 13-5, taking that first map, but now it's the opportunity. Irvine Valley College, they have to adapt, they have to innovate, and they have to survive just to bring us to Ascent.
Speaking of innovation, we saw some innovation here just a little while ago with the harbor. I don't think we're going to see that again. By the looks of things, it's very, very default, very safe,
very cowardly, very cowardly. I would say, yeah.
Thank you for being the brave soul to say the words I wasn't willing. Indeed, there's cowardice in the server, as we're going to get to see most likely a pretty standard comp. Even if entry goes for the Reyna here, I'd say that though it's not the normal jet, it's still entirely reasonable. Especially because if you recall, way back in the day, you know, we would see those double duelist comps with Reyna jet at the same time. Made a lot of sense then. The Killjoy has sort of come back into the fray instead of the double duelist, which I think makes a lot of sense to me. But to see the Reyna, I think entry is going to be going absolute demon mode.
Sicko mode, some would say. But yeah, I have to agree that Reyna is a viable pick. I'd say after we've had some time to reflect, you know, there are good positions for the Lear, but with how many angles are in this map, it gives so much freedom, so much escape for a dismiss after you secure a kill. So get one, stay alive, play your life, and be hell for your opponents.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. A lot of times, I think initially, many players were thinking about Reyna in regards to her utility with the Lear. But at this point in the game, Reyna's Lear utility is kind of like, yeah, it's there, but you should never really be relying on it. You should be relying on other parts of the kit. And it's that dismiss that really is what you're looking for here.
That's a subtle get good.
Yeah, a little bit.
A subtle get good call. I'm loving it. Here we are, A site. But the real story is 3 players up in B main.
Yeah, they're just all here. Volko, he's got the read and his shot. Nice shot as well. That is exactly what you want to see. The spike's going down.
Instinct good for 1. And they'll retreat, but the spike is here. Spike's down. Peach Cobbler in pretty darn deep territory. They'll make the right decision to regroup with the rest of their team. 4 still alive. And you can see the rotation. It's going to be Murky playing for the lineup to prevent defusal.
Still, 4 on 4. They got to get the move on. Oh, and they don't know where this spike is at.
They have no idea now that the wall has fallen. The real brawl begins. It comes down to instinct. Top rope, literally. And they have to work it out, but unfortunately, there just isn't enough time to make it happen. The delay of play by Irvine Valley, certainly to be admired.
And Murky chipping in for 3 frags there, making a very solid start the second map. And this is being Irvine Valley College's map pick. It's going to have to be a good one. It's going to have to be something a little bit different than what we saw back on Haven. And, you know, because we didn't see this from IVC before, it suggests to me it's something they've been working on. And so this start gives me confidence, Los.
It also comes down to the idea that Irvine Valley cannot allow themselves to lose control of the anti-eco. Might be the case here. No. Volt keeps it cool and a decent amount of damage onto Eli as well. Could continue this success. However, won't be the case. Bola, though, providing some recompense, so it is not a complete loss. But the real fight, going back to the spike, you've got pressure from Instinct consistently out of this player.
Yeah, it's been a bit scary. Oh, well, Instinct's been able to find this success, but surely this should go the way that we expect. Sadachi picking up at least one of those frags, and it'll be Murky to close things out for IVC. So a 2-0 start, and OC ending up losing out those first 2 rounds. Not the biggest of deals, but here's where we get serious. The rubber meeting the road, as you say. We get to the gun round, and with the look of things, this is going to be an ambitious bonus round.
Suffice to say, they are taking some interesting leads with the sheriffs, but it's not that it hasn't provided success previously. Peach Cobbler, though, sheriff in hand. At this point, I'm assuming playing the bait.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it. Though, ooh, this is an interesting toxic screen positioning. This is like the harbor setup we saw on the pistol round last time out. Oh, unfortunately, it has weaknesses, i.e. Instinct getting up over it.
One enemy remaining.
That simply was not in my bingo card for the round. Instinct, living up to their name, instinctually dropped a wall to get over the toxic screen, have that vision, and I don't believe Irvine Valley even knew what was hitting them.
I mean, yeah, I too was sort of outside of the realms of feeling like that was a possibility. I just was like, oh, okay, that's crazy. And that's kind of what's cool about Instinct as a player. The creativity that you can have with the wall, it feels like there's been an adjustment period where everybody kind of knows the standard stuff, but it's so cool to see things continue to be created in the moment like that.
What's the creation of a possibility here? Everyone fully equipped, kitted out, ready to rock. Same with the Bulldog. Wonder if that one is going to find anything. That was a subtle bark. We're not ready yet.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Semi one way. The idea here to make it difficult to pass through this area without getting some of that decay or taking that unadvantageous peak. Either way, a very slow and methodical approach for IVC. They're finally going to put up the toxic screen and get things moving.
I think we call that Orp a 1.5 way.
A what now?
A 1.5 way, not quite a 1 way.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Here's a good development for IVC. A kill from Volk and a kill by Murky. A site should be totally undefended. However, the realization, Instinct will be here. It's known. It's red. Instinct will take one for their change, for their time. But the trade is here, and it is a beautiful scenario for Irvine Valley. They'll get the spike down planted unless Entry can make a real hell out of this one. The sound cue's up top. Entry is isolated the fights. How? How could such a winnable moment be thrown away? If Entry dies in this moment, that would be the case. But there is no time left.
That is outrageous. Entry with a 1v3 clutch in the 4th round to tie this game up in a 2-2 scoreline. And OC taking the lead just about. Feels like they should, given the fact this will be an eco round. But talking about the clutch there for Entry, it's really just a matter of taking that initial fight. And honestly, I think IVC bear quite a bit of the blame for that going the way of Entry. Obviously, Entry has to hit the shots, but I mean, IVC just can't give him 3 1v1s like that.
No, it's such a long return for Bola to be in the situation just to help, and understandable why the lurk was there. They wanted to check any rotating players. Sadly, the rotation already took place. Resurrection committed, and now any advantage that was gained by IVC nullified.
Stepping up to the plate here. I mean, IVC, they have the Viper's Pit, and that's actually going to be used immediately. Still a Viper on this site, though.
Look at that original. It was a 4-man brawl down mid. It's been split off. Bola, last bastion here to defend. It's not going to be a double swing, or Entry might have a leer to send out. Oh, the commitment, the isolation of the fights. Now Bola knows Entry or Instinct was there. However, it is going to be a kill regardless. Spike's inside of a Viper's Pit, so all this work hasn't exactly benefited them.
I think there was a Hunter's Fury as well that attempted to deny the Spike plant, but it was not able to end up finding the kill at the end of the day. A little bit of damage done through there to Sudachi. And they don't have time to wait for the recon bolt either.
Shock dart in there. May as well continue to send it. However, you'll simply be sent to your death. Murky on the judge. Sodachi on the wings. And this is such an incredibly long round, but the long game is won by Irvine.
Yeah, and I probably need to take some responsibility for that one. I hit him with the caster's curse against OC. I said they probably should be taking the lead, and yeah. Then they got thrifty. My bad, guys. My bad. Sheriffs across the board. This next round, Oklahoma doing what they can. They might be able to pick up something here with those weapons. And yeah, there we go.
Such a confusing situation. Great usage of that utility. If the guns didn't take Entry down, the Nano Swarm would. So it's a clear sight, but you can see that Eli is running the race, sprinting like it's the pacer test, just with the sheriff.
Placing swarm. Turret down. Swarm grenade out.
Sudachi gonna put down the spike, and I think we saw, yeah, there was a res there early into the round. I was wondering what that ultimate was. I couldn't figure it out, but just the res coming through to keep IVC healthy and all their players alive and ticking. That recon bolt saw all 3 of these guys. This should be an easy cleanup, and it will be a flawless round at the end of the day. I mean, you know, not counting the fact that there was a res. And
I didn't see that.
yeah, I mean, I'll count it as flawless. You got all the guns.
That's what truly matters, right?
Yeah.
As long as there's 5 at the end of the round, it's a flawless to me.
That's what I'm saying. I will say a rough start for Saint. He's approaching a secret agent. About to be potentially 007 here, which is not ideal. Though I don't really think that's got anything to do with the scoreline at this current juncture. IVC have just been picking up the pace. They've been looking really good, and they've been doing a great job of trading. Their positioning has been fantastic to make sure that they're always available to get a 1-for-1.
Yeah, that's a big time change that you're going to need to see. If you allow too many free kills for OC, that's going to be an issue. That is a problem. We've got the 1.5 way, and the situation simply gets better and better for Irvine.
Yeah, a lot of aggression right now for OC. I mean, that being an example of it is just a bit of a solo endeavor. That expedition, it's great if it works, but if it doesn't, you're in deep water.
Spike in play. This is going to be a hefty post plant.
You should run.
A little sus on that spray.
He got it.
However,
whoa. He got it. It was fine. No way.
Not suffering from Whiffington's disease.
Yeah, exactly.
One enemy remaining.
And he's got 3, to be fair.
Hey, let's take a back seat.
Yeah.
To this round. This was domination by Irvine, forcing out especially the lockdown, destroyed it even though they didn't really need to, and added insult to injury of executing everybody that was hiding from their own via vault.
You know, the fact that Bola was just holding the A push the entire round and picks up a 3K at the end of it kind of goes to show where OC are located right now with regard to how effective their pushes have been. It's just been nothing. They've been really quite bad. And as a result, they've been picked off one by one multiple times now. They've got to figure out a way to deal with that. I mean, currently they're aggressing towards B, and they're there as a team, but we just haven't seen too much of that as of recently, have we?
No, it's been simple solo plays, not really able to affect any attempt of meaning, if I'm gonna be real with you, Vincent. OC faltering at a great degree.
Spike down. Another one of these pistol rounds in OC. Well, we saw what they did last time out with these in the Viper's Pit. Maybe gonna give an opportunity to do it again.
Thing is, the Viper's Pit doesn't do too much when you have your opponents playing for lineups, and the only kills that are being ascertained and secured are ones that don't play the lineups. You're only killing the side characters. That doesn't help your case.
It's a main character world. We're all just living in it, unfortunately. Eli will submit themselves to the spike and say, you know what? I just want to get out of here. Nothing to save really in any way, to be fair. And this is where I'd say it needs to be a pretty significant stand for Oklahoma. If they are losing more rounds than this, you know, they're going to be in a bad position moving into the next half. So this is one of those must-win rounds to ensure that you are able to take some momentum to continue into this next half and, well, potentially more. So we'll see what is on offer. Oklahoma invested into that last round once again with regard to ultimate. So now they just have the Empress available, the res, but that's non-issue as Instinct goes down early with no trade either.
Scholar back to a healthy scenario, yet in a moment's notice, entry in Saint fires shots right back at IVC. Eli is in a must-win scenario. If they lose their life on this play, that's going to throw the round. A kill is secured, but Murky finds it right back.
Winter's Fury now for the offense of IVC, considering all they need to get is a spike plant to really position themselves well. This could be incredibly important to look at moving forward. And oh my goodness, Bola will catch Wheaties. It's up to a one-on-one. Entry has been so incredibly clutch. Remember, we've already seen a 1v3 from them already this half.
This is brutal. Brutal scenario. They have to be looking at the right angle. And certainly they will not. Murky closes it down. 3 kills for them. The trading, that's what got them to this scenario. If Bola was allowed, or sorry, Eli was allowed to escape, we may be looking at an entirely different round. Just those extra frags allowed the buildup of the Viper's Pit, allowed them to feel more confident to take that A site, gain the speed to get on there while there was nobody defending it, and secure a Viper's Pit in tow.
Indeed. It all has an effect. Another buy, but it's 7-2 right now. And this is currently looking like that first half from OC back on Haven. Only flip-flopped. IVC now taking the lead and holding the lead, in fact. Same situation, really, for OC. Gotta win. Gotta keep getting some rounds on the board. Walking into their second half with just 2 rounds would be almost certainly a third map confirmed.
4 players on B main. Saint watching mid. expecting the worst, prepared for it, but that's what we're going to see from Instinct and Eli. 2 fall for either side. Orb popped, raise, placed. Not going to be such an easy situation for Instinct to do the same, but if they have secured this crazy angle, can they find another? A third kill is secured, and Wheaties is on the flank for the 1v2.
But that's just it. It's not enough to win the round. Instinct didn't go for the res, instead went for the frags, and sure, got 3 of them, but it puts Wheaties in a very difficult position. IVC have a Blade Storm if they want it, but I don't think they're going to be putting anything into that. They seem to know exactly where Wheaties is coming from, and it will be a swift death for Wheaties. This Peach Cobbler peeks at the right time, finds that frag. It is 8 rounds for IVC. After a 13-5 in the first half, I did not expect this, but they are doing phenomenal right here, Los. Irvine Valley College, a different beast when it has come to this second map. And, you know, it really has been interesting to see the evolution of OC and how they've been struggling in this matchup, specifically struggling to find trades.
IVC looking like a different animal, but the same beast. My lord. A big opener from Volk. Over Peach Cobbler. Won't be able to enjoy in that success because entries popped the Empress. I think this... I'm not sure how many times we've seen this one come around, but it hasn't been such a standout ultimate that it's worth even noting previously. But the real issue here now is going to come down to Saint.
Oh,
Saint has to survive. And Eli does as well. But that's not even possible. A knife, maybe?
I hope. Maybe. He's waiting for more. Just gonna take a little bit of time.
Get more.
That's outrageous. IVC, they have this round surely now.
Unless Saint can pull off a miracle. This is their time. They were actually waiting for some information, I believe. An entry providing that via a kill on their opponents. Oh, no, no! Saint! The round was in the palm of your hands. But it was thrown off a cliff. Oh, no. Moments like that are non-negotiable.
Yeah, and I think that, honestly, just a pretty basic mistake there. The play typically, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but would be go for the player not planting, then go for the planter. Because the planter has to get off the plant in order to shoot you. So, take the guy with the gun out first. Pretty basic, but sometimes you forget those basics and it punishes, and that's an example of just that.
This final round, looking to conclude a 10-2 half. And I feel that it is almost guaranteed that OC are taking a loss here, at least with this half. At least with this, potentially, the map. If it continues with this, they'll have 0 padding. No safety nets going into the second half.
1 enemy remaining.
10-2 would be insane, and it's sure looking like it's going to be that. A flawless to close things out. The 10th round is theirs, and that is an icebox to remember. Irvine Valley College just walking away with literally everything. They played a fantastic first half here. Their offense was sublime. They didn't make really any mistakes. Often were able to trade their way into advantageous positions, and, you know, it kind of felt like an OC that really couldn't put a foot wrong when it came to Haven. Now only has left feet here on Icebox.
Talking about adaptation. We've seen Irvine do it. And it feels as though Oklahoma Christian, they're getting left in behind.
In the dust. Here's the opening to the second half. Straight B is the plan.
Oh, if that doesn't feel like a solidifier of how OC has been performing, they have big opportunities. They simply cannot connect. Of course, that's a simple pistol kill, but it was right in front of Instinct and couldn't be completed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a small way of showing exactly what's been happening. Got to get rid of that wall to get the plant down, and ooh, that's fortunate that Bola even gets out with a kill there. Looks like OC a chance to win this, but look at the HP, Los. It's a 2-on-3, and 2 of them are one shot.
Everyone's starting. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Wheaties walked right into the bullet, and it was a clat into their teammate. Oh, big opportunity with the heal, but it does not matter. Checking the next angle, expecting Soda Chi to be a swing away. Well, they certainly were, just not in the angle they hoped.
Well, a ridiculous turn of events here. A team solidifying themselves in the last 2 months as a top 5 opponent in the entirety of the collegiate Valorant space, and they're about to get absolutely dominated if they can't find something quickly.
Singer in hand, entry, leading the pack. Destruction of the Nanoswarm is a good look. Big opportunity. Instinct even incredibly deep with a Sheriff. No shots make a connection, but securing the plant, that's step 1. Maybe they could evolve this into a successful post plant. They've got lineups, potentially.
Oh, there's a lot of space, though, to work with entry so far forward. The overheal as well.
Oh, it has to follow up. Unfortunately, running out of bullets is going to be their demise. Murky running and gunning. They don't give a damn. Having to reload, but the issue now is there's such little time. Saints and Wheaties, the last one's alive. The Nanoswarm secures the win. Finally, they have made an impact in, I think it is 10 rounds since their last victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like that. It certainly wasn't looking good. Not by a long shot. It was 9 rounds total since their last. And, man, you know, I think that one of the things that has certainly been impressive for OC, generally speaking, has been Instinct and entry generally, but they're coming online here a little bit later. We've seen some good things, but just not quite there. Maybe the attack is just their jam. Maybe they can pull this back.
And we've seen them move so quickly. Once they find weakness in their opponents, they will press that offensive. A good start, but the issue right now, you've got Volk in the back line. It has to be challenged, and it's going to be Instinct to do just that. Timing might be a bit of a problem, though.
Man, it's tough against this wall when you have pistols, but Volk, that timing works out for him.
Volk will take a second. A weak link found in the back line. Volk is simply wasting time, however, Saint is buying it. It's with a great deal of kills from the screen side has given them a situation to deal with where Volk was an ever-pressing problem in your backline, diverting eyes, diverting guns, but with that fight being secured in screens, it was no problem.
You know, it just came down to Saint had a little bit of extra cash, could keep buying for longer. It was outbidded on the Volk time trial. It's up to now a gun round. IBC, first time they'll have one this half. Oklahoma, on the other hand, well, the only thing they're working with is that Empress. You mentioned that it really hasn't been all that effective in the pretty much the entirety of this map, but that is an effective way to start things. Volk has been a big fragger for IVC, and he's down.
Entry so far! Oh my god, the dismiss to get into the back line was critical. There wasn't even a need for that overheal. There wasn't a need for a dismiss either. Simply a flex, to be sure.
An easy adjustment. That's a bit ambitious from Instinct. Not sure why he thought that was so clear. This, though, is already an IVC save. Look at how they've postured. They're just committed to holding on to these guns. Try again next round, and I really got a lot of respect for that. The idea that they've just decided that so early on, because they have so many rounds to work with is really cool to see.
Last player standing.
Here. Oh, boy. It was a hope for a save.
Damn.
But save they shall not. Wheaties. Drop it down, too. Adding a nice little bonus for them to come into this next round. It forces the 3 players who were hoping to have rifles. Now they're all dropping down the sheriffs.
Yeah, you know, I think the idea was good for IVC, as I mentioned, but unfortunately the execution could use some work. Well, at $0, yeah, that's a good decision. Sell that, go for the sheriff instead. And now, with some momentum on their side, Oklahoma, they're a scary team when they get going, and I'm starting to feel that momentum shift in a pretty significant fashion. IVC, they're not yet on that point either. There's always a chance. Comeback trail. This would be one of the best comebacks I've seen in a while, though, if it happened. It would be 10-2 into potential victory, but that's a long way down the road at this point.
Oh, nice kill by Peach Cobbler. Entry's been such a thorn in the side of Irvine. Removing them from play early on is going to be a nice bonus for them to walk into this lockdown activated while hoping to be destroyed. But you've got 4 players, 4 angry OC gamers on the other side. Issue here is they're forced away from the lockdown, but the lineup is going to keep it safe.
It's actually the defense with the Hunter's Fury there. Now it's going to be the offensive one, and that's Eli. He's been very good at finding kills with the Hunter's Fury, and he's done it again here. The defuse, it's already nearly there, and they'll get it. No way! Irvine Valley College, they have map point, and it's off of what is essentially a ninja.
Oh my god, they had no clue that there was a wall there, or maybe they did. It was simply too late in the process. What a phenomenal retake. Not relying simply on gun skills, the utility, and the understanding that your opponent simply will not be able to come back in time. It was a good move by Oklahoma Christian, using all of those lineup pieces, all of the different opportunities with those Hunter's Furies, the snake bite. Unfortunately, when it comes to a wall like that, and a half-tapped spike, you're just too slow.
That is such a critical moment to lose out. OC, they've invested now both of their main ultimates to get onto the site, but even there, they're being stopped.
Viper's Pit activated. This is going to be the last stand, I would assume. I would imagine. But I don't think this is even a scary situation for IVC. You know they're going to send it. One player so incredibly weak, and the other can certainly be smoked out if you look hard enough.
On that, they already have a tap on that spike. Well, that's a fantastic snake bite. It's too bad that it's just not going to be enough. There's so much time left, and it will be the round going the way of IVC. They're sending us to a third. They've just taken a map off of a top 5 team in collegiate Valorant. That is incredibly impressive.
Based off that performance from Oklahoma Christian, you would not think it. You'd think the story was flipped. Irvine Valley College, what a turnaround, what a performance, and it's what we were asking for. It is what they delivered. You got to talk about the adaptation, reading that this is a team, Oklahoma Christian, they love to push, they love to get aggressive, so why don't we just not do that and wait for them to throw their heads against us? How many times did we see Bola catch out rushes?
Yeah, it was a little bit ridiculous how often we saw just IVC waiting and then getting free kills. Like you said, Bola specifically kind of felt like they were just hanging out in spawn for the whole round, and then they were collecting triple kills doing that. That's something that had to be adjusted, and you know, I really don't feel like OC actually were able to adjust. They ultimately had to wait until the next half, where sure, they had a bit of a resurgence, but at that time it was too late. A 10-2 scoreline, and then losing pistol as well. There just wasn't any room for any error.
Beautiful performance by Irvine Valley College. It's going to take us to map 3. It's Ascent, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the finale of the Naystar League Conference Playoffs. Hey, welcome back to Naystar League. It is the epic conclusion here on Ascent between Oklahoma Christian University and Irvine Valley College. 13-5, 13-5. Honestly, the scoreline seemed about right, but the teams who were holding on either side of them kind of didn't check out to my pre-game predictions.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you consider the fact that in week number 1 of this season, these two teams played and OC won 2-0 in 13, I think 4th and 13-5 fashion. They dominated overall, and now IVC turning what was their only loss into a very competitive series with a map win and taking a map off of a team that is very much at the top of the collegiate Valorant space. That said, we got to see what map 3 brings. I'd say that, you know, certainly a knock against OC, generally speaking, by losing that map. But let's be real, you know, Icebox, clearly not a map they were super prepared for, I felt like. Ascent, you and I have said it a million times. This is something that everybody's pretty familiar with. Everybody plays a bit of Ascent here and there, and the fact that we're going to see it makes me feel like, well, we probably are going to see a bit better of a look from OC.
I think if you don't play Ascent, you don't play Valorant. Everyone is running this dang old thing. OC may have a different look in terms of their agent composition. You know, I'm actually down with the use of the Cypher, and I believe we also have a substitution of Glyph coming in instead of, I believe that is Wheaties?
Yes, it is. This is actually a huge upgrade right now. Like, not meant that way, Los. Why you gotta take it that way, dude? It's not that way. Listen.
I know.
Why you gotta do me like that? Man, Glyph is a player that has been all over the place. Is currently playing on essentially a tier 2 team. Has played with Team Rekaroo in the past. Has played on Cloud9 Academy. You and I have seen them play as far back as 2021 with Last Round Save. I mean, this is a guy that has a ton, and I mean a ton of experience in the game of Valorant. And so I think that map clearly given OC a little bit of a run for their money, and they felt like they might have needed to bring in the big gun.
Hey, well, I'm here for it. We're all here for it. After that performance back on Icebox, I think they certainly need all the help they can get. This time around, Pistol, will it go the way of Irvine Valley College? There's a decent stack of 3 players up toward mid. They want to get in IVC's face. That's what we know OC for. They like to take the fights close. If this is going to be a situation where they can have a pinch, that'll be beautiful, but they need to get moving.
Well, that they do. Well, they will be moving and grooving straight into the A site. But Eli, that's ridiculous. Finding 2 frags instantly.
And stuff from Eli, and great stuff from Saint. Not a single attempt to take down an Oklahoma Christian University player has gone well until Volk, in this moment, is going to remove 2 in their final breaths.
So a dominant pistol round. The opening stages of that easy for Eli, and then the closers kind of felt like it was also a bit of an easy close from there. But with that said, Oklahoma going to be stepping into it. Entry doing a good job as well. And, you know, the other thing to note is that, you know, Saint was struggling a little bit on that last map. Really didn't get started until very late into it. Picking up, you know, kill and assist on the pistol. That's also good to see. Really a confidence giver, you know? Oftentimes it's just that 1 or 2 frags that you need at the beginning of the game to give you your confidence, and then you can play much better from there on.
Yeah, a bad start can certainly taint the rest of your game if you're unable to find that mental recovery. But also now Saint is rocking on a bit more of an active agent, certainly in comparison to the Viper. Similar execution here on A site. No one there to readily greet them. But it's a full squad of sheriffs, as we're expecting the drop down from heaven. But it's going to start with a paranoia, and oh god, Saint has begun the massacre.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I expected. And Saint, once again, stepping up big time. Seems that this KO feeling a little bit better early on for sure. And by the way, I did look just to see what the stats look like on Icebox. Well, I mean, it's not great. We'll just say, statistically, not ideal.
Yeah, that's gonna be a ban. That'll be a ban in the next series.
I mean, they hadn't played it for a while. They only played it once in this entire season of Collegiate Valorant. So, that should tell you all you need to know.
Interesting how they've been able to skate past it
It's because it's
throughout
bad
this
map.
entire season. Yes. Yes.
No bias here. No bias here.
Of course.
Just an
Definitely
orb
not.
grabbing maneuver. That's what I'm going to start calling just getting the orb. An orb grabbing
An orb
maneuver.
grabbing maneuver.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's just fancifying a simple grabbing of the orb.
The orbing. The orbulation.
Orbiting?
The orbiting.
Oh.
Caught in the middle of the orbiting.
Yeah. Another thing that is going to catch on, surely.
I forgot what the first one was.
Yeah.
Oh, a phrase?
Yeah, phrase. Yeah. That's for those not here earlier on. That's a free ace. A phrase.
Which is preceded or it precedes the 3B, which is a free 3 kills. Anyways, there's going to be an execution onto B. Maybe. It feels like there's a lot of hesitancy. 30 seconds left on the clock, though.
It feels like they gotta go now. Because there's only 30 seconds left. And there is a player here. There's gonna be Glyph. Doesn't have the best weaponry though.
You know, with a singular SMG, maybe that would have been a nice situation for them to walk out of. They won't be walking anywhere. They'll be carried out. Time for the retake. It will be a commitment here. Saint sends out the flash drive. No one there to receive it, though. But the big threat is that there's 2 players sitting inside of A main. The fight will be taken onto Speedway. Saint here on the flank, but they're hit with a paranoia in the worst moment. But still, that won't stop them. 12 bullets in the Spectre, and they're still able to find it. 4 in the Vandal. They have to commit. It's up to Instinct to provide safety. Unfortunately, there's no safety. Not even shelter from a wall bang.
Nah, that's a tough one. OC didn't have the weaponry really that was ideal in that situation to start, and they did their best with what they had. Unfortunately for them, it just wasn't enough. The 2 players remaining using that wall bang to great effect, and that's the power of that plant position. As long as you have control of Speedway, you have an ability to be able to apply layer after layer of spam damage to anyone who dares attempt to defuse that spike. Here's the gun round. That was the bonus. The real work starts now. It's going to be a possible nightfall. As we see the fade back. I didn't actually mention this, but a little odd to see the fade and the KO on this map, but certainly is a good setup.
Wow. Glyph, great usage of the cyber cage. They fall for their efforts, but in the end, to be able to find a singular kill before that takes place with all the utility that was being exerted on A. Commendable. And this is questionable. Not a single player looking up toward heaven as one player is sitting in hell with the spike. One of the main avenues of defenders completely wide open.
Yeah, just a little bit of a weird scenario, weird situation. That null command as well, getting big usage in that round. Gotta say, that was a good timing for Saint. Looks good to me. Entry gonna have a Blade Storm coming up next, though I don't know if it's necessary. You look on the other side, IVC. They are somewhat lacking, I would say. It's just a Sheriff. Classics for 3 players and a Marshal for Bola. So... well, Blades are going to be committed, interestingly enough.
I dig it. Eli. Out and about here in the mid zone. 4 players here from Oklahoma Christian. 4 defenders ready to rock and getting in the faces of IVC. That's what they love to do. And Instinct will continue that pressure. Now, no one has any avenue of access to A, even though it's wide open. Glyph will stay sane back in sight, but it doesn't even matter.
That was a ridiculous play from Entry. The adjustment onto the player in the corner there, just ridiculous.
Even in the blind, Volk is able to secure a kill with that sheriff. Honestly, considering what they were working with, it could have gone worse. I'm sure they were looking for a plant, but to take a few rifles off their opponents with only sheriffs, not too bad.
One thing that is interesting is to see Glyph going for the Cypher here, as opposed to the Killjoy. Like, Glyph is a good Killjoy player and plays a lot of Killjoy generally, so I do wonder why that is, but I mean, it's working, and honestly, Glyph is a good enough player that it really shouldn't matter.
When you got skill, it doesn't even matter what the agent is. It does. I'll pick your...
I mean, to a certain extent, though, that is true. I mean, I'm going to see the blades out, as well as the lockdown for an open B site. Nobody home. And that obviously should be able to get the spike planted.
You know what I'm seeing is a... Well, we'll get to it in a moment. Entry, walk it onto Speedway for free? What is even happening? The player from A main couldn't find the shot. It's Bola. Maybe they can find redemption. That won't be the case. Paranoia out from CT. It's not going to be enough. Glyph removes Murky handily, and now it is just up to Sodachi, sitting inside of the dark cover. But it doesn't matter. No angle will keep them safe.
Can we just talk about how outrageous of a play that was for just entry, running through not only the... there was some fade utility. I didn't even see what it was. But ran through the fade, ran through the fragment as well. There was 2 players shooting at him, and he's just W-king. He just doesn't stop. And he gets 2 kills out of it. Are you serious? This guy's outrageous. Don't know how you stop him.
Entry doesn't care. But what I was going to point upon is that this is a team that has had 4 players mid almost every round. They do not change the situation. Always send some players toward mid. Always fight for that. They're not adjusting because they found one issue that they consistently abuse. IVC, who previously adapted, are unable to find a solution.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's often very hard to figure out what the solution is when you're getting punched in the mouth, though. I'm just saying. Like, that's tough.
As a punchy, I understand how that goes. Instinct with another. A punchy, a receiver of a punch. Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know that.
You know, that... I mean, we're just applying words here, and it feels that this round is already long gone. I don't even know. Did they... That certainly wasn't a purchase round, was it?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it was. Yeah. No, it definitely wasn't. I was just having a good conversation. Didn't even pay attention.
Because Irvine wouldn't allow that. They wouldn't. They couldn't, Vincent. They couldn't allow that to happen on a rifle round. I was just double checking in case I was bugging.
You say that, but Entry's been doing things that just don't make sense and that shouldn't happen. So, you know, it's a fair question.
Well, fair enough. 6-1 right now. IVC finally taking their sights to a different site. That is A. And again, 4 players on mid. How ridiculous. They'll be spotted, sure. Well, what the heck is Bola going to do about it? The answer's die.
I mean, and it's also not like they were going to be playing on the A side anyway. So, might as well get all the information, then retake from 2 different avenues. One towards heaven.
Oh my god! Glyph with a 3K at the moment.
What?
The floor! Glyph is an absolute hero. I don't even know. They simply just went into another dimension of consciousness to be able to pull that off. The smooth flicks, the snaps onto the heads, and the brain reads to know the player was in hell. I don't even understand the thought process that could allow to such a play.
I would like your formal written apology for laughing when I said that Glyph is coming in and it's huge upgrades.
No, that was more of a laugh that you were making fun of Wheaties.
But I would never do that.
I know.
I would never. But yeah, no. Jokes aside, Glyph is outrageously good, and that just kind of goes to show you, like, it all went so fast, you know? Like, the adjustment towards heaven initially, and then from there, it was 3 kills almost instantly, and even 1 2 into hell from heaven. That's just insane. And I mean, I don't know what exactly is being discussed for Irvine Valley College, or what even you talk about after that round. Yeah, so what had happened to me was that Glyph just killed me really fast. Yeah.
Well, that would be everyone saying the exact same thing.
That's my point.
Just the comms. Up, Glyph got me. Up, Glyph got me. Up, Glyph got me.
He's heaven. He's still heaven. It's like, what do? You can't do anything. I mean, and it's clear to see that the rest of the team right now for OC, after looking so demolished in that last map, like, they just didn't look like they had confidence. Now everyone has confidence. Entry is taking space like this. We weren't seeing this back on Icebox. What? It's so fast.
No chance here. Nice kill. Singular for Irvine Valley College. Now they can take B site, but the thing is, you've always only needed 1 kill to take that, since the rest of the players were mid. The true task coming down to the post plant. Rifle in hand. Tara watching the opposite direction might be an issue, but Murky with a nice 1-tap on entry could be a good omen. And they're certainly acting like it.
Oh, but that's tough. Through the wall
I don't even understand.
I was just about to say, I don't know how he knew. I mean, like, it stands to reason that they might be coming from that direction, but the pre-fire, how'd he get it? Was there a recon bolt that I didn't see?
I think there was, but I don't know if it even tagged Vola.
Well, regardless, I'm blown away, just like IVC currently getting blown away on this map. Blown out, more like it. 8-1 is the current scoreline, and, you know, the scary thing is that IVC, they actually won this dominantly back on Icebox, but it didn't look anywhere near this dominant.
The issue is that it came from mistakes out of OC. They were simply playing into a situation poorly. But this time, OC is creating the situations, and IVC is just trying so hard to keep up that they can't. It's all about who's creating these plays. Murky and Peach Cobbler are certainly some architects of a brilliant execute onto A site.
Well, honestly, the execute wasn't brilliant. It was the response. They realized they've been watching OC just running down mid for round after round after round. We've been talking about it ad nauseum here. And finally, IVC are like, let's just go A, and then fight against them whenever they try to retake from the cat area. And that's exactly what they did. They put that dark cover down. They made it so that it was easy for them to get those kills exactly when OC went through the smoke and made it easy for them to take those fights. And they won all 3 of them. So a good adjustment from Irvine Valley College, but that adjustment, well, might need more adjusting, because no longer is there no one home here on A, but it's 2 players mid-it, Glyph being one of them.
Face your fear.
They've got some information. They know at the very least it's Instinct sitting inside of Tree. Peach Cobbler making a daring assault onto Heaven, even standing within their own teammates' nanoswarm. That's bold.
Murky as well, finding Instinct. That's huge. Both the players that were on A getting taken out, but it really wasn't about them losing a fight. They got taken out through utility, through smokes and the such.
This is a wonderful resurgence. Irvine Valley College ending this half on a strong note. Gonna be impossible. Wow.
Bola getting some much needed revenge onto Entry. And I don't even know if it was specific, but Entry's been a menace alongside Glyph, so I'm just gonna frame it as revenge and go from there.
We'll take it. You know, Entry has simply been a menace throughout the entire series. All of their ability to dash through mid, take your space, take your life, take your fun away in the game of Valorant, so you might as well get some revenge.
No fun zone. No fun zone when Entry's on the server. Can't play the game. Here's a pretty solid 0 point initially. That's going to actually give a lot of information over to Oklahoma early into this round. And you can see Instinct prepared for this A hit. Kind of preparing to look towards that A entrance and making Paranoia readied. 4 players are here. Just the one lurk towards B. That's all that it is for IVC. And here they go.
You tell that the flash is being played for by Saint. Unfortunately, they are not able to get a single flash out. Glyph will stay alive, stuck inside their cages, but a brief use of the cyber cam is going to be a bit of an issue. But now they've got an opportunity. Paranoid being sent by Murky. I don't believe it makes a connection, but even so, when you get so close, it does not help you. Sodachi, the last in a 1v2, pinched, and they cannot save the day. So although they had a nice couple of rounds, it'll be OC who locks up the first half, 9-3.
Well, Cursed Believers will be enjoying this one, but 9-3 seems like, honestly, a pretty good halftime scoreline when we compare it to the 10-2 in the last half. And the difference is only 1 round, I know, but the mental side of that, I mean, it feels so different, doesn't it? You feel a lot less defeated.
I have to say so. You know, being able to simply break up the rounds, break up pain received, that'll give you a better feeling. IVC now, they have a Herculean task ahead of them. It is going to be all about this round right now. If they lose this and the following rounds due to the buys, they're looking at LCQ right away.
Oh yeah, don't want any part of that. That's a solid Paranoia. Murky.
Peach Gobbler as well. The pain in tandem. It started out nicely, however, Eli and Glyph have exerted their own equalizer of destruction. Volk inside the dark cover. We will have Bola emerging from the garden, and it's a successful one. Commitment to the plant, commitment to the kill. Can they even do either? Instinct caught between 2 webs, and this is so insane how they've been able to survive. The jumping right click is all they have with 4 bullets. Now it's dropped down to Glyph.
But who else do you want in this situation? 16 HP for Volk, and seemingly the information that this is a very low player is here.
Glyph waiting for the peak. Gonna come down to when the drop occurs. Now that they have the sound cue. Glyph, maybe they just want to play time. They know they can. Oh! I think there's plenty of time, yeah.
Yeah, a big whiff right there for Glyph. I mean, maybe plenty not the right word with 1.9 seconds left on the clock, but yeah, plenty of time. Yeah, a big whiff there for Glyph. Had the read, had the timing. Just got a little bit frazzled is the way I'd put it. In the last moment there, just couldn't quite adjust to get the one shot necessary to bring it over the line, but a critical victory. Delivered by Volk, the captain, the in-game leader for this squad, and, well, Irvine Valley College in position to now start to make their comeback. Though, Oklahoma, I'm noticing they do have some upgraded pistols, excuse me.
Is this what we think it is? Oh no, sorry. The
strat?
Mid to B with pistols in hand.
I don't know that we're gonna get it, unfortunately. The spike is outside B though, so maybe. Possible.
I honestly could not tell you what the plan is here, considering how far away the spike is. I guess best case scenario, Instinct is gonna go grab it on the way out.
This is go kill. That's the plan.
Can't use that.
I'm relatively certain.
3 suppressed.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people.
Rotation maybe if Instinct was able to secure a kill. Not quite the case. Entry has one. Gun recovered?
30
Perhaps
seconds.
too far off. And that'll certainly be the case. This is simply a slow descent into the bonus round.
No, it's a slow descent into madness is what it is. All these individual duels. This is like we're teleported back in time, back to Icebox. A round with no plan. And no plan means no dice. As we head into that next round, the more important of the rounds, to be fair. Hopefully the plan is a little bit different, a little bit better for Oklahoma. I would imagine it will be. Here's all of the Vandals available. IVC going to be putting themselves in a pretty good position to maybe do a lot of damage on this bonus round. They'd be very fortunate to win it, but damage seems very likely. 3 Spectres, a Bulldog, and 1 Sheriff to work with. No ultimates online just yet. It's going to be an attack towards it.
Entry finds the success and takes Heaven. There's no one left to defend against them. So they might be dealing with an absolute crisis ahead. OC in full control. The door's broken. Now it's time for an attempt from Garden. Eli starting things off. Now we have Volk sending out the Prowlers. Not too much information because you know everyone's already there, but it will be a flawless here for Oklahoma Christian. Only 3 more rounds remaining before they could take it all the way to playoffs.
A flawless round, yes, against the bonus, though. That's the conversation I think that's important. Irvine Valley College, they still have enough to be able to buy this round. They're doing pretty well for themselves, though. If you look at their setup, they're in a pretty standard 2-1-2. And looking at what OC have prepared, this is going to be a very fast execute towards the A site more than likely, unless they get some early information that there's so many players here. And with that Prowler, I think that is going to be the case. Just a little bit more passive approach. But in doing so, they're going to have to regather some of that control that, well, Glyph initially held, but then rotated away from.
Murky on the opposite side of Dice. Oh, they're going to get a boatload of information followed up with the Paranoia. Entry isn't able to dash beyond it. But they don't care. It's all about survival. And it will be Murky escaping and providing an opportunity for another kill. Instinct won't be hit by the flash. The spike will not be planted. Now they have to consider all the options here. Do we stick the spike plant? Do we actually stay and fight? Well, that'll make it easy for you. It's planted. 4 players up on Heaven. The firing squad has arrived. Peach Cobbler leading the charge. It comes down to Glyph, hoping they could earn a 4K. Easy breezy will not be the case.
And with that, big victory. Obviously, back on the winning trail, the winning run that they were on early into this half with the pistol and then the anti-eco. And it all comes down to fighting for that space time and time again, right? They didn't give up immediately. What they did is they fell back a little bit. Volk was able to find a kill through the smoke. Does get traded out, but then the fragment stops the plant from happening. And it creates the space for the rest of the IVC team to apply pressure from Heaven. Everyone else but Glyph, who was on the rotate from Cat, goes down. And Glyph just can't 1v4.
Tree completely blind. However, a saving grace with the Hunter's Fury as well as Instinct pushing the offensive, but they have not even entered into sight. All the fighting has taken place from main as well as Cat. Now they are putting in some real effort. It's a 2v2 throughout all the chaos, and the spike has not even been planted.
Spike should be able to go down here now as Eli able to cross over. Volk wants to go, and Instinct had the awareness, knew exactly what that plan was before it happened. defends his teammate beautifully and even finds the third frag of the round. 11 now to 6, and Oklahoma looking to close. It's clear they are on a very good look to do just that. Should be a save. Sodachi has a force buy, or has a hero rifle, but I don't really think that's... Well, I guess they're gonna go for it. IVC, instead of saving this round, they're just gonna go for the force buy, use the Blade Storm, and hope that they can make this work. And, you know, maybe they will be able to.
Still gotta send it. That's the thought process here. Can't go down like that. Allowing a series point potential. Oh my god, the anime duel. It doesn't work out, but thankfully Eli is here to at least bring a gun into the game.
Ridiculous turn of events there, with the shorty ultimately winning that, and Glyph again. What is happening? Just entirely forced to rotate from the shadows over to B. And do they still think it's A? They do still think it's A. Uh-oh.
I can't think it's empty yet. Oh, Volk giving that one up. Still 2 players sitting on here. Is Entry going to solo this one? No, Bola secures a kill, but there's no chance in hell that this is a winnable round.
No, it's over. It's just a matter of Irvine Valley College taking the gun that Bola just gathered and bringing it into the next round. So, it'll be 12 for Oklahoma. I don't think they've used the Cypher ultimate once. No neural thefts at all.
I didn't know Glyph had an ultimate.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say something like that. I kind of felt that one coming. I mean, yeah, it's not great, but still, might as well use it.
No, it's almost like counterintelligence on yourself, because now your opponents know you know where they are, and they have to adjust the position immediately, so... There it is. All right?
Fair enough.
They know you know they know.
It's all a mind game. 12-6 is the scoreline, and this could be potentially the last round. Remember, IBC, they force bot, which means they're force buying again.
Working with pair of bones. Working with sticks and stones and a few shields at that. Murky has just not much of an opportunity to stay alive here. It's not even a cause for a rotation. Now that they know that there are 2 here, it comes down. It's going to be Volk. Volk has to stay alive.
Okay.
And they do. Big use of the judge, and it'll continue. Oh, my. Oh, no.
How many times do we have to see this play before you just come to understand that I'm right about the judge being the best gun in the game?
How about like 10 more times?
Okay, I'll keep account for you. Don't worry. I can be patient. Ooh, that's a nice shot.
Little tracking there. Nice work on the aim labs, huh? But
yeah,
still,
for real.
in the 1v3, a lot of damage onto the opponents though. So this is a certainly a oh no, favorable situation. I almost said
30 seconds.
I'm going to actually continue to say would have been a good one. Unfortunately, dash into a double peak, not the best scenario.
Yeah, it's a bit tough. That being said, oh, they actually don't have quite as much money as I thought. Are they gonna buy this? Yeah, three guns. This is definitely a buy situation. You know, but they have the neural theft, so they'll be okay.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because now they're going to have information if they could get a kill.
I mean, we know they're gonna get a kill. Yeah, at some point.
That was my bad.
How many flawless rounds have we seen for IVC this or like this map? I don't think we've seen any. Although, unless it's been anti-eco. Maybe on anti-eco.
Volk in the back of mid. And it's been quite a large question mark of what the scenario will be for Oklahoma Christian. Will they make a commitment to mid? Will they make a commitment into catwalk? No one really knows, Vincent.
How many kills will Glyph get on the lurk? No one really knows.
Now with the
Gonna be the null
commitment
command?
of that null command, I think we have an idea of where they're headed. Oh my god! Too much time spent debating where they were going to go. It's actually going to give them information. There's only one player left on this site. Now they can secure the plant. 2 are still stuck around hanging with Glyph, and that's not where you want to be.
And he's still getting kills. Los, you gotta stop him. 13-7 is the final score line here on Ascent. It will be Oklahoma Christian University taking the victory. With that being said, I gotta keep it a buck. I think IVC really impressed me by taking a map off of this team. They did incredibly well from getting 2-0'd and dropping. I mean, what was it? 10. They got 10 rounds total in their first series to now winning a map and being relatively competitive at the end of the day at a 13-7 on Ascent. This is an IVC team that you got to watch out for, especially in that LCQ.
Yeah, you got to give props where they're deserved. IVC certainly stepped up. A big improvement from what they've been able to bring in their previous engagement with a top 5 team. Now they are going to be able to inch their way maybe more and more into the conversation if they continue that, if they are finding ways to, I would say, manipulate OC. That's how they were able to truly take care of Icebox, and manipulation through playing passive, which is a surprising thing to say, but it was a good attempt. At the end of the day, stronger team, Oklahoma Christian. They took it. Glyph, a big boost in their capabilities, a big upgrade, some would say, and it allowed them to walk on out of here with the victory, 2-1. So they'll be moving right into the playoffs. So congratulations to them. IVC though, still headed to the LCQ. They still have an opportunity to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, they absolutely do, and I'm very excited to see what they have on offer. One of the other things, though, I want to mention before we move on, though, from Oklahoma is that the fact that Glyph was able to have such impact by being subbed in. I mean, we know what he has to offer when it comes to, like, the fragging. That was so clear to see. Even on the lurk, just always delivering. It felt like Glyph was taking sites on their own. But it was the rest of the team and the way that they resurged around him too that kind of makes me feel like this team with Glyph involved is very hard to beat. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do against the likes of Blinn, Northwood, and the rest of the fantastic high-level teams here at NACE.
Yeah, it's an exciting prospect, but we'll get to the playoffs soon enough. The next time you'll see us, it's going to be the LCQ, because this is the last map, the last series of the night. Thank you so much for joining us here at the NACE Star League, and we'll catch y'all next week.